Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing something has changed. The stress is still there. Life is still imperfect. But somehow, your mind is no longer fighting against you. No endless overthinking. No emotional exhaustion drains your energy before the day even begins. Sounds impossible? Here's the surprising truth. Science says your brain can actually be trained for happiness. And most people, without realizing it, are training their brains in the exact opposite direction. The biggest lie we grow up believing is that happiness is something you either have or you don't. Some people seem naturally positive, while others struggle to stay optimistic. But modern neuroscience tells a very different story. Happiness is not just a personality trait or lucky circumstance. It's a skill, a mental pattern. And like any skill, it can be strengthened, practiced, and trained. But before we talk about building happiness, we need to understand something uncomfortable. Your brain was never designed to make you happy. It was designed to keep you alive. Thousands of years ago, survival depended on spotting danger quickly. Missing a threat could mean death. So the human brain evolved with something psychologists call a negativity bias. In simple words, your brain naturally pays more attention to problems than pleasures. That's why one negative comment can stay in your mind all day, while 10 compliments disappear in minutes. It's why bad news grabs your attention faster than good news. And it's why your mind often replays mistakes, fears, and worst-case scenarios on repeat. This doesn't mean you're negative or broken. It means your brain is doing exactly what it was built to do, protect you. The problem is, survival mode and happiness mode are not the same thing. And if you don't consciously train your brain, it can get stuck constantly searching for danger, stress, and dissatisfaction, even when you're safe. But this is where things get fascinating. Your brain has an incredible ability called neuroplasticity. That means the brain is not fixed. It changes and rewires itself based on what you repeatedly think, feel, and do. Every repeated thought is like carving a path through a forest. The more often you walk that path, the stronger and easier it becomes to follow again. Think about that for a second. If years of stress and negative thinking can train the brain to become more anxious, then repeated positive habits can train it to become calmer, stronger, and happier. And one of the simplest ways to start this process might surprise you. Gratitude. Now before you roll your eyes, stay with me. Most people hear gratitude and imagine fake positivity or pretending life is perfect. But real gratitude is not denial. It's brain training. Your attention works like a spotlight. Whatever you focus on becomes more mentally important. And because of negativity bias, that spotlight naturally drifts toward problems. Gratitude pulls it back. When you intentionally notice good experiences, even tiny ones, you begin teaching your brain to recognize positive signals it normally ignores. Maybe it's a supportive message from someone you care about, a peaceful moment during a busy day, or simply making it through a difficult week. Small moments matter more than we think. And here's the powerful part. What you repeatedly notice becomes easier to notice again. Over time, gratitude doesn't just change your mood, it changes your mental default setting. Try this tonight. Before sleeping, write down 3 things that went right today. Not what was perfect, just what was good. At first, it may feel awkward or insignificant. But remember, you are not writing a diary. You're training your brain. Now let's talk about something people often underestimate when it comes to happiness. Movement. Not for appearance, not for six-pack abs, for your mind. Have you ever noticed how your mood changes after a walk or workout? That's not imagination. That's biology. When you move your body, your brain releases chemicals linked to better mood and reduced stress. Exercise also lowers tension and helps regulate the nervous system. And the best part? You don't need extreme routines or expensive gym memberships. Your brain doesn't demand perfection. It responds to movement, a 20-minute walk, stretching, dancing to music in your room. Even small physical activity sends an important message to your nervous system. We are safe. And when the body feels safer, the mind becomes quieter. But there is another mistake many people make while chasing happiness, and it secretly keeps them frustrated. They believe happiness means feeling good all the time. Think about how often we hear this message. Be happier. Stay positive. Never feel down. But here's the truth nobody talks about. Trying to be happy every second can actually make you miserable. Because happiness is not a permanent emotional high. Life still includes disappointment, sadness, and difficult seasons. And that's normal. Humans quickly adapt, even to good experiences. You buy something new, reach a goal, or experience excitement. And after a while, your brain adjusts and it becomes ordinary. That's why happiness built only on pleasure or achievement never lasts. Real happiness is deeper than excitement. It's not about eliminating negative emotions. It's about developing the mental resilience to experience life without becoming trapped by every emotion that passes through. And this brings us to perhaps the most powerful happiness habit of all: connection. We live in the most connected digital age in history, yet loneliness is rising everywhere. Thousands of followers cannot replace one meaningful conversation. Likes cannot replace feeling understood, because the human brain is deeply social. We are wired for belonging. Sometimes people believe something is wrong with them because they don't feel happy, but often the missing piece is not success or productivity. It's connection, real connection, shared experiences, honest conversations, feeling seen. And maybe that's something many of us need to hear. You were never meant to carry life entirely alone. So call someone. Spend time with people who bring peace into your life. Open up instead of pretending you're always fine. Because healing and happiness grow stronger in connection. So what does all this mean? It means your brain may not naturally choose happiness, but it can learn it. Not overnight, not magically, but through repetition and intention. Your thoughts shape patterns. Your habits shape emotions. And your attention shapes your experience of life. Happiness is not waiting for perfect circumstances. It's built through small choices repeated every day, choosing gratitude over constant negativity, movement over mental stagnation, and connection over isolation. And maybe the most hopeful truth of all is this: you don't need a new life to become happier. You may only need to train your mind differently. If this message connected with you, take a moment and ask yourself, what is one thing that genuinely made you smile today? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more science-backed self-growth videos designed to help you become mentally stronger and happier, make sure to subscribe and join us for the next one.